There's no fucking way he went swimming by himself, that he left the group and everybody that could possibly see or hear him and decided to go for a swim.
It appears that not everyone in Nolan Wells' family is confident that local authorities will fully explain what happened to the Mississippi teenager, whose body was found on July 6 after he disappeared during a trip to Horn Island on July 4. As previously reported, 18-year-old Nolan Wells traveled by boat with a group of friends to Horn Island, a remote barrier island located roughly 10 miles off the Mississippi Gulf Coast. According to reports, the group later returned to the mainland without Nolan. Friends reportedly told investigators that Nolan chose to remain on the island instead of returning with them. 2 days later, on Monday morning at approximately 8:45 a.m., search teams located Nolan's body along the island shoreline. The discovery has raised questions among members of Nolan's family, particularly his grandfather, Christopher Wells, who publicly expressed concern about the investigation. In a Facebook post shared Monday evening, Christopher wrote, "Too many unanswered questions. How can an island that was searched yesterday produce my grandson's body this morning? There's nothing right about this. Nolan Xavier Wells deserved the same opportunities in life as everyone else." His comments refer to the extensive search effort that began on July 5, one day after Nolan was reported missing. According to local news outlet WLOX, the Jackson County Sheriff's Department searched Horn Island with assistance from the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources, Gulf Islands National Seashore officials, and the U.S. Coast Guard. Because search crews had already spent hours searching the island the previous day, some family members have questioned how Nolan's body was discovered the following morning. Horn Island stretches approximately 10 to 12 miles in length, is less than 1 mile wide in most areas, and covers more than 3,000 acres. Its remote terrain, thick vegetation, beaches, and surrounding waters can make search operations difficult. At this time, authorities have not publicly announced a final cause of death or stated that foul play is suspected. It is possible in some water-related cases for a body to become visible or wash ashore after changing tides or currents, but investigators have not confirmed whether that occurred in this case. Beyond the unanswered questions surrounding the search, many conversations online have also focused on the broader historical context of race in Mississippi. Some social media users have noted that Nolan appeared to be the only black member of the group that traveled to the island, and have said that this has contributed to public concern and calls for a transparent investigation. Those discussions often reference Mississippi's long history of racial injustice, including the 1959 killing of Mac Charles Parker, a black man who was accused of assaulting a white woman. Parker maintained his innocence, but before he could stand trial, he was abducted from jail by a white mob, brutally murdered, and his body was later recovered from the Pearl River. Although the FBI identified several individuals believed to have been involved, no one was ever convicted of the crime. For some observers, historical cases like Parker's contribute to ongoing concerns about accountability and transparency when incidents involving black victims occur in Mississippi. As Nolan Wells' case continues to develop, his family is calling for a thorough, independent investigation and answers to the many questions they say remain unresolved. Authorities have indicated that the investigation is ongoing, and additional information is expected as forensic findings become available.
Water.
I'll fucking life jacket on, Marquise.
I'll just wait.
Bro, you have a life jacket.
No, I'm black. It doesn't matter. I'm not gonna save you.
Oh, yes, it does.
Bro, I'll just find a way. Hey.
Hi.
Yeah, they think I'm about to go back, but I can't.
Bro, you have a life jacket.
I'm gonna die.
I'm standing right
Hold
now.
on.
Talking just like, hold on a second.
Put your handle right here if you want.
Yeah, I might drown.
You won't drown.
Oh, you want to
I'll try
drown?
to get over there.
You're not gonna drown. I promise you're not drown.
There you go.
Thank you.
What's your name?
Hey.
You know what's your
Oh,
name?
my name is Marquise. Everybody calls me LeVar because I go to like Denellen.
Are you okay? Are you
Ma'am?
okay? Are you okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was okay getting over here. And they think I'm about to swim back. I can't even swim.
Doing a good job right now.
Yeah.
Probably I'm holding on this. And it's my first time here.
It's your.
Oh, first time? Well, welcome.
Yeah.
How'd you get over?
Yeah, what
They made me
happened?
take that way over there, and they had 2 life jackets on.
I'm glad we ran into you.
Oh, you fucking pussy.
I'm never coming back with y'all.
Yo, we told you if you're coming, we had a life jacket.
Life
makes you
jacket.
float.
Saving it for a big kid, this for a little kid.
Bro.
That's scary though if you're not used to water.
Yeah.
I just swim in my pool in my backyard.
Yeah. Spring water's different.
It's a lot different, you know, when you're full to
We're almost there. It's the wind.
Now, man.
I know, it's really strong. There's a current.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'm never coming back with y'all. Super cool.
Hey, help me up. Help me up.
No, what is it?
As the investigation into Nolan Wells' death continues, his family has taken another major step in their search for answers by hiring prominent civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump. Known for representing families in several high-profile civil rights cases, Crump announced that he and his legal team will now represent the Wells family as they seek a full and transparent investigation. In a public statement, Crump said, "We've been retained by the family of Nolan Wells, a beloved son, teammate, and friend who went out to celebrate the 4th of July and never came home." He continued by describing Nolan as a talented wide receiver at Southwest Mississippi Community College who was preparing to return for the upcoming football season. Nolan was also just weeks away from celebrating his 19th birthday. Crump added, "His family deserves answers. They deserve the truth. We will not rest until every fact about what happened to Nolan on Horn Island is brought into the light. We also call on investigators to pursue this case with the urgency and transparency this family deserves." Since Nolan's body was discovered, both of his parents have remained largely out of the public spotlight. Aside from sharing heartfelt tributes to their son and posting a GoFundMe campaign to help the family during this difficult time, they have made very few public statements. Meanwhile, according to Good Morning America, investigators currently believe Nolan may have drowned. However, officials have not publicly announced a final cause of death, and the investigation remains ongoing. At the same time, many members of the public and Nolan's family continue to raise questions about the circumstances surrounding his disappearance and death. Those unanswered questions have fueled growing calls for a thorough, transparent investigation to determine exactly what happened on Horn Island.
To teach your kids, especially your kids that are hanging out with rich white kids, that is not good. You gotta stop letting them hang out with rich white kids. This Nolan Wells situation never should have happened. The parents of Nolan Wells should have known better than to let him hang out with these kids. I have an older son. I'm not saying it's the parents' fault, but I'm just saying it happens all the time. My older son is half black. He looked more black than he did half. But he got into a similar situation. He was fighting with a bunch of rich kids in North Atlanta, the North Atlanta suburbs, the richest neighborhood in Cherokee County, Georgia. And he was fighting with a bunch of boys over a girl. And lucky for him, he didn't wind up dead. He just wound up locked up for a while. But it could have wound up with him being killed. And, we as parents, we have to do a better job in informing our children about who they should and shouldn't hang out with, because...
So the sheriff department found Nolan's body. They said it was no foul play. Oh yeah, he just got tired and decided to take a nap in the water. Now they better off saying it's a shark attack, because at least that shark will be held accountable.
There is no way in hell that young man decided to go for a swim by himself on that island on 4th of July weekend. The island's packed with people. It would be hard to even find a way to go for a swim by yourself alone on that island on 4th of July. It's just a little spit of land. But there is no fucking way in hell that young black man on an island full of white people decided to sneak off by himself and go for a swim alone in water over his head or anywhere near over his head. You understand what I'm saying? That's not something that happened. And an accidental drowning is the only way that young man could be dead and it not be murder. And there's no fucking way he went swimming by himself, that he left the group and everybody that could possibly see or hear him and decided to go for a swim.
Although investigators continue working to determine exactly what happened, several important questions remain unanswered. One of the biggest questions is why Nolan Wells was left behind on Horn Island after the rest of the group returned to the mainland. According to reports, friends told investigators that Nolan chose to stay on the island, but many people continue to question the circumstances surrounding that decision. Another question involves the possibility of drowning. Reports have indicated that Nolan knew how to swim, leading some observers to wonder what events may have led him into the water. At this point, authorities have not publicly explained the circumstances that preceded his death. The case has also drawn significant public attention because Nolan appeared to be the only black member of the group that traveled to the island. While there is no public evidence confirming that race played a role in what happened, the circumstances have prompted many people online to call for a thorough and transparent investigation. On Tuesday, the local coroner's office officially confirmed that the body recovered from Horn Island was Nolan Wells after investigators matched his dental records. Now, Nolan's family, friends, and investigators are awaiting the results of the autopsy, which may provide important information about the cause and manner of his death. For now, many questions remain unanswered, and Nolan's family continues to seek clarity about what happened during the 4th of July trip to Horn Island. What are your thoughts on this case? Do you believe the family's concerns about the investigation deserve further examination? Share your perspective respectfully in the comments below as we continue to follow any new developments.